That's Loki Orimisun Ayedatiwa. In the middle, being handed the flag of the party, that's significant and ceremonial, by the way. And away from that, how NAS members encourage corruption in public sector. Again, how NAS members encourage corruption in public sector. That's coming from Jega, former INEC chairman, Professor Jega. And 2025 budget. Makinde proposes 678.087 billion naira. Adeleke presents 390 billion naira to House of Assembly. That's instructive to say. And of course, it is now the duty of the legislature to invite everyone, MDAs, to come and defend what the government has presented. And what we love to see is scrutiny, the real scrutiny. Not just whatever the executive brings, they will get because of loyalty, especially where you're in a state that the ruling party has the majority, or in some cases occupy all of the seats at the State House of Assembly. These are the issues, scrutiny, proper scrutiny of these issues, of this budget, whatever it will be from various MDAs, to do the proper work, not having it in mind that Mr. Governor might not like this, Mr. Governor might not like that, because at the end of the day, it's not about the Mr. Governor, it's about the people. 678 billion naira presented by Governor Makinde to the Oyo State House of Assembly, led by Right Honorable Debo Ogundoyin, and 390 billion naira presented to the Osun State House of Assembly, led by Right Honorable Adewale Egbedun. Let the work begin. Now, vandals invade Obajano transmission substation, destroy power transformer radiator. This is one thing that we don't want to know, that we don't want to see, but sadly, it is happening. Vandals invade Obajano transmission station, that's in Kogi State, destroy power transformer radiator. So what happens? Vandalism, and the people get the suffer. And I think we should pay more attention to this, Evelyn. Around us here, around this community, a larger chunk of this community that we are, we are not having the power as we should, by the way. And it's looking like a pattern down the road. Somebody told me the transformer is having issues. And so for more like 2-3 weeks now, not too far from us here, we learned the transformer is having issues, and they were told to pay 2 million naira. And around my house, not quite far from here, we learned that I got home yesterday. I was told the transformer has issues now, and we are told to contribute 2 million naira. And I was thinking, this is a pattern. Should we not be thinking, but we have not really, at least around us, I heard the case of vandals maybe destroying these things. But then, 2 weeks, transformer stopped in another axis, not too far from us, transformer stopped working, and now in our own axis, transformer stopped working, 2 million. Are we not asking the right questions? And then we hear that the community will go and bring money. So what's the work of IBTC in all of these things? Now, 2 things for me. Vandals are wreaking havoc. It is everybody's business, no matter whose ox is God. And then when this vandalism happens, and I'm not talking about the big vandalism now, but the ones around us now, almost every transformers are having issues, and the people in that community are the ones that are told to contribute money to fix it. So what exactly? But if the community buys transformer, the power holding company will say it's their own. If you buy your cable, they say it's their own. If you use your money to buy your prepaid meter, they'll say in as much power is on it, then it becomes their own. Why are the people paying? 2 things for me, if actually you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Femi.
And it's looking like a coordinated attack.
Exactly. I mean, at the center, the national grid is collapsing.
Almost now and then.
At different streets and different areas, transformers are having issues. And it's, like you said, it's becoming a pattern.
I'm telling you, less than 1 month, 3 transformers having issues.
Every other Eke market day, like they say it here, transformer has issues, and people have to come together to contribute money to, fix it, repair it, or get a new one. And that's why people always ask the question, what is the function of the government if I provide every single thing for myself?
Right.
And, you know, the government will come out there and say, oh, you need to pay your tax. Now, get me right. I'm not saying that not paying taxes is good. I'm just saying
we must
give the people the right reasons to pay taxes. And you will see that naturally they will bring out money from their pocket and pay.
Yeah.
It's like going to other countries of the world. I just read a post and also watched a video from former House of Rep member Shina Pella.
Okay, I saw the video.
Yeah, saying that you see a call to our leaders and people that we need to fix our country. You know, he saw a life accident happen, and he saw the way the health officials came on board, the police came on board, just because one person collapsed in the middle of the road. And that did not make there to be gridlock or, you know, traffic jam. And everything went smoothly. And he was fascinated, saying, look at this is governance. This is what it should be like. And, you know, people came for him and asked him what he did while he was there. But we should actually focus on the message and probably leave the messenger. This is how a reasonable and a sane community, a sane nation should work. When people see that things are working, I tell you, people will be quick to pay. It's because they are not, I provide my own security, I provide my own transformer, I provide my own water, I provide my own roads. So what exactly are you given?
And you now come and say I should come and pay tax. These are some of the issues. We have said it. Tax is sacrosanct. We must do that. But we must ask these questions. You know, it's everybody's duty. Vandals don't come from the sky. They are among us and they live among us. Now, just like the way maybe I'm taking it personal, because I was living and I was thinking, if this thing is not fixed, man, it will be very... In fact, some are already stressed. I'm just speaking for myself. These are some of the issues as well. Vandals should be treated, I've said it brilliantly, like terrorists, because they terrorize people's lives and well-being. That's who they are. They are not to be taken like either the one that cut away people's cables or steal transformers or officials or whatever who they might be. They are terrorists and they should be treated in such a manner. Now, moving on, Okpebholo dissolves board, sacks political appointees. Assembly clears Attorney General, delays Oshiomhole's son's clearance. Okay. And away from that, top strip, 3 bodies still missing as black box of crashed helicopter arrives at Abuja for analysis. I think that's that situation that happened in Rivers State. And 3 bodies. Sad one. And here, we have this particular one from left. That's the picture, the bottom of the paper. National Security Advisor NSA Malam Nuri Badu and Controller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeni during the 2024 Controller General of Customs Conference with the theme Nigeria Customs Service engaging traditional and new partners with purpose in Abuja and West State. That will be all from the Tribune.
And from the Tribune this morning, we head on to Daily Trust newspaper. Let's see what we've got on the front page of Daily Trust. And the big, bold headline there is focusing on the judiciary. FCT houses for judges. Falana counters Wike insists action unconstitutional with double riders there. Says gesture embarrassments to judiciary, and we did it to protect judges. This is coming from Minister Wike. But then people have said...
Who is a barrister we should have?
Yes, it is a lawyer. But people have said there should be an independent agency or institution that should cater for the provisions of the judges, not from the executive per se.
Of course, that's why we have the Ministry of Justice and the NJC.
Yes, he who plays the pipers to take the tune. Yes, you're saying you want to make lives better for the judges, which we are not against. Our judges deserve, you know, the good things of life.
Yeah,
but then there is a pattern to this, and that's why people are actually raising their eyebrows. They're saying Wike has constantly done this for years, even while he was in Rivers State.
Yeah, he did it.
And for all all of his cases, all of his legal cases, he won all. Now, yes, he has come out to say that's because I hired the best of lawyers to defend my case. But you know, there is a particular saying in Yoruba. I don't know how to translate that.
I have to try.
You know, it looks like this, it looks like that. I don't know how to put it, but
Possibly that is what it is.
that is what it is. Because you can't tell me you do this every time and you still have cases in court right now and you're buying houses for judges. Definitely you're doing that
Building
in a way
quarters.
to curry favor from them. And he is saying it is from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not his own agenda.
While he was in Rivers, was he from the president?
Because this has been a pattern with Wike.
And if actually he's from the president should tell him to stop. That's all.
Because how do you actually build, you know, quarters and houses for judges and all? You go to
Because
commission.
it's logic for people to think you're always in the judges' good books, appearing to, you know, the writer says we did it to protect our judges. In what capacity? As the minister of the FCT, are you doing that? Interventions are okay. Anybody can do that. But when it looks, it's not just when it looks, it's like a pattern for you. Oh, this is your demographic. You know, one might want to say, because he's a lawyer himself, his wife is a senior person in the judiciary as well, to say, okay, this is way to go. But, you know, with what we have, with the, and you know, optics is everything. People might say there is a reason for you to do this. There's a Ministry of Justice that should take care of the bench. Actually, there's the NJC. If actually you have anything to do, channel it through the NJC. You don't just go on project and say, oh, this is for the judiciary. I mean, the judges, and it's because you want to protect
Then
them.
where is the independence of the judiciary?
And one will say, will that kind of judiciary see something wrong in your cases and they will give it as it is? Yes, conscience and professionalism might take over, but the people will never see it like that because they believe you're already buying. Even if that is not your intention, I think it should stop, actually. And this is not we or us or the Nigerian people being what we call a bad belly here.
Yeah.
We have an institute, we have a state to run, we have a nation to run. If actually your intervention will mean other things, can you channel it through other means and focus on other works as well? The judiciary will be fine, and there are ways to do these things. We have the judicial, NJC, we have the Ministry of Justice, work together with them.
Exactly.
Not just for you go on a project and say it's for the. What about doctors? What about engineers? What about artisans? Can you also do the same for them and protect? In fact, the people that need protection, they are the ordinary men. These are the people you are telling that they should leave Abuja by fire, by thunder, because, you know, they are beggars.
I mean,
Are they not the people that need protection?
all right, so the legal luminary Femi Falana is saying this is not right. I mean, you have cases before these judges and you're buying them cars, buying them, building them quarters. Of course,
Some of the
people
judges that would preside the same matter.
Do you get? So, of course, Wike has also defended and said, I'm not doing that to curry favor. I'm just doing that to protect the judges.
Thank you,
All right, let's move on. Still on Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Ondo governorship, 6 hospitalized as thugs attack PDP members. Here we go again. I thought there will be a time where, you know, we have an election and everything will go on smooth. Nothing. And also this speaks to the loyalty of some supporters, the overzealousness. Sometimes it's about how much loyal
They
they
want to
are
prove a point to their principal.
Sometimes these principals are not even aware.
Even when they are not.
It's just like, you know, football and their supporters, when they start these banters and, you know, they go sometimes all violent.
Banters are even good. But the violent part
That's
is
what I'm saying.
You know, there are people, especially in Italian Syria, they call them the ultras. That means the fanatics, if I want to go.
the fanatics.
They hit people, they do anything, even when the players of the club.
Is not aware.
Yeah.
So that's it. But Ondo governorship election is coming up this Saturday, and we hope that things will go on smooth there. FG to launch organ transplantation policy by December. FG to launch organ transplantation policy December. Reps query
organ transplantation. when usage doesn't have light. When OA2 is struggling, when many of these hospitals, the transplant will be done where? At the ministry. Excuse us.
Rolling out policies upon policies, but not putting
the cesarean section free policy is still there.
Equipment
to be run by which hospital?
Equipment in place.
Which personnel?
Well, it is what it is. Reps query Nakan over 90 billion naira hard subsidy disbursement. Again, here we go. Away from that, World Diabetes Day. Patients dying, weighed down by a high cost of medications. With double riders here, we spend over 80,000 naira on drugs every month. And some even spend higher.
More.
Experts task government on cheaper treatments policy. Their drugs, their insulin is so expensive now. One insulin goes for as high as 20,000 naira, and that can only last them for what? A week or max 2 weeks. So imagine you have to buy an insulin just as outside of the other drugs. Your insulin, you have to get it for 20,000 naira, and you can only use it for 9 days, and you have to be on that every time. So of course they would spend 80,000 naira on drugs every month. Imagine someone who probably earns 70,000 naira minimum wage. How do you do the maths? So I hope the Minister of Health, Ali Pate, there is so much on his desk at this time, and I hope that he can swing into action and help these people.
Right.
Help these people. On the top corner, Daily Trust newspaper this morning, Lakurawa. This name, I hear Lakurawa, I hear Lukarawa, and I always wonder which one is it exactly.
The press briefing given by General Buba like a week ago when he was confirming, the sad, development that these guys are here, he pronounced Lakurawa. Yeah, but I've seen many persons.
Lukarawa, I've seen Lukarawa.
And they will be sounding like Lukaku.
Straight, let's still go meet Lukaku this morning. All right, Lakurawa members flee Kebbi as troops intensify onslaught.
Don't just let them flee.
These are the things we want to hear.
These are the issues. You pursue them from one place and you retreat. Then they go and regroup.
And they go somewhere
After
else.
Kebbi, if you know that axis, down the south, if you're coming from Kebbi, you go to Sokoto to Katsina, Zamfara. From Zamfara to Katsina to Kaduna. So if you push them from one place, they are going to another place. Can we do, many persons are talking about coordinated offensive against these guys. It's not just about pursuing, telling them that we have they have been just restricted to the fringes of. It doesn't work like that. In the next 2-3 months, they will come back and somebody will come and blame the natives as well, that they are not the one talking.
All right. Gunmen attack army checkpoint in Abia, kill 2 soldiers. I saw the video and I was wondering what those people are up to when you start to destroy, the army checkpoints. It's for your security. Why are you doing this? The Southeast is going to a lot at this time.
And you saw that video, why they were removing those things with all audacity. The person was talking about the date.
And also warning the governor of Abia State. Is the way he was calling him for me. Alex, if you know where I'm from, actually, that's where they call. That's how they call Alex.
One will never understand that while you said the people you are fighting for whatever your cause is, you will now attack them because you think they are not doing things that you want. Your own people that live in that particular place, they are the ones you are attacking because you think you have a message. And the people that are giving you this message, they're outside the country. Once somebody is somewhere in Finland.
On Simon Ekpa.
I'm telling you, you saw that video of his family on a beach. The guy looking fresh and all, thick. And he's giving message. And you in Abia. So
why can't he? I think they should call him to come back to Nigeria to come and
speak to the fact that we must work with our head more than just emotion.
Sure. And that will be all from Daily Trust this morning.
A very quick one at The Guardian. World Diabetes Day, which Evelyn took earlier, epidemic worsens as cost of drugs hit 100,000 naira per patient monthly. Again, World Diabetes Day. Epidemic worsens as cost of drugs hits 100,000 naira per patient monthly. And of course, you could see the Victoria depiction there of what it is. Cost of care between 500,000 and 800,000 naira per patient, with average 100,000 spent on drugs a month. And the calls for tougher, effective control of processed foods and sugar sweetened beverages intensify. We must do that. We must be responsible as well, especially, the moment you are reaching some age, especially your midlife, you should be careful and have yourself tested as well, because some of these things, some persons don't know they have it. The moment the symptoms begin to appear, in some persons' cases, then that means a greater percentage of damage has been done to their body part. Can we normalize? Somebody said it, I think on a program here last year, that for you to celebrate your birthday, if you have someone who believes in birthday, maybe you should tag, one of the activities of things you do towards your birthday as medical checkup, so that you won't forget. At least my birthday is coming, and at that particular week, I should go for checkup, especially when you are reaching the mid-age. It's very important. You can see what it takes, the pricking of the hand, the insulin, infection, and some of these things as well. We'll talk on these in the course of the program in coming days. And federal government vows to crush new terror group amid 1,545 reported deaths last month. So we learned some of these, the Lakurawas or the Blue Karawas, they are enticing the people with as high as 1 million naira, to say, come and join us. 1 million naira is yours. Either they will be given or they won't be given is another thing. In previous terrorist organizations, we've learned how some of them were promised 7 virgins when they go to the other side and they die. These are some of the issues. And here, Wike justifies houses for judges, says no chance for Atiku in PDP. Not the best of him and his Atiku. Tinubu urges patience as household tighten belts, focus on necessities.
Honestly, if
please
people,
laugh your laugh. I'm saying that you are struggling to keep your laugh.
If people tighten their belt more than what they are doing right now, people will literally choke.
Evelyn, some houses are not having belt. You are lucky if actually you have belt now. You are talking about tightening of belt. Some don't even get shokoto. Most persons are naked. That's the truth of the matter. These are the issues. You just talk about it. Almost everywhere in Agumbelewo now, almost everywhere, the transformers are faulty. Now talk about the artisans in those areas. You are not telling those ones to tighten belt. Which belt? Many persons are naked. These are the issues. And we have been hearing this almost 2 years now. But there are some persons that will never tighten belt. When you're buying Escalade after using a Maybach, you are no tightening of belt. In fact, they have to be releasing their belt because the pot belly is becoming bigger. These are the issues. Makinde Adeleke presents 678 billion, 390 billion budgets to lawmakers. Let them do the due diligence and not just say because you are loyal to Mr. Governor, anything they bring,
I think we should start talking about performance of the previous budget. You don't just bring a budget, present it to National Assembly, get the approval, and you're not telling us.
Even the state houses of assembly.
Come back to give reports on how the last budget performed. I think we should normalize,
given the account,
actions like that.
Disco suspend Unistar meter face out over FCCPC's directive, and vendors attack another transmission station in Kogi. Treat these people as who they are. They are enemies of our lives. We should treat them as such. And here, customs overshoot 5 trillion naira target, anticipate 10% leap. Interesting. And NHRC raises alarm on rise in kidnapping, scaling, child abandonment. And ICPC laments a risk in probing high-profile cases. A risk in probing high-profile cases from ICPC. All right, we're in a deep issue. If ICPC are talking about risk in probing high-profile cases, there's a body set up by the act of the parliament, and now they are panicking. If actually they touch some cases, is that what you are saying? In a nation like Nigeria? Interesting. How would we quit a nation that we are all proud of and the ones that our children will be proud of at and they won't be causing, the people that have left these things to us. If ICPC, they are saying and they are lamenting the risk involved in probing high-profile cases. Interesting one. But then, let's leave it there for this morning. That'll be all from the headline segment. We take this quick break. When we come back, we speak to governance, we speak to issues, we speak to perspectives, especially about what we are running right now, if actually is working, or we need to take a pause and review what we have on our hands so that we don't hit a particular point in which people will not have all of this anymore. Stay with us.
Evelyn Ohiole,
Hi.
King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attachment to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you, favor. Are they vex so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, is actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So MC Too Much, I beg, when you talk about that, I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about I kiss my ass.
I think I have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach too much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his word, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Right, thank you for staying with us this morning. As I said before the break, we'll be talking about governance and reviewing what we have on our hands. The presidential system of government, which has to be about the executive, the legislature, and of course the judiciary, different arms, and of course different levels of governance, the national, talking about the federal, the state, and the local government as well. And is it really working? Yes, it's all about democracy, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But then when it appears like it is not working, some might say it depends on who you are asking or who is painting the narrative, then we have to give it, listening here and see, wait a minute, is it the system that is faulty? Or is it the people? Or some might even say, is it that we are not able? Are we intellectually bereft of good people that can really do these things? Or it's just a system that needs review? At a forum in Abuja a few days ago, former Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola, was invited by the House of Reps and the particular body to speak. And he wasn't the only one. Yakubu Dogara, former speaker, was there, and another university don, and they spoke on the range of issues. But I'll allow you to hear and see part of what Aregbesola talked about.
And part of it is the tyranny of these individual dictators that we call rulers. If you go on believing that a man, a person, no matter how beautiful, no matter how good, who have the capacity to go out 20 million people all alone without checks, we are joking. So, by that consideration alone, I am opposed to executive system of government. I believe a collective arrangement, which parliamentary system guarantees, is best for a nation like Nigeria, if indeed we are committed to advancing the interests of the large population and mass of our people. Thank you.
All right, we have in the studio with us to share their always blunt, opinion on issues like these. They are both public affairs analysts. Comrade Larry Fadansi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Glad to be here with you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
And of course, we have Dr. Oluyemi Omotosho Jr. here with us. Thank you, sir, for being with us today.
It's a pleasure being here.
Let me start with the birthday boy. By the way, Comrade will be 60 in a jiffy. So congratulations.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad. Thank you for greeting me.
All right.
And I'd rather say I left government service about 12 years ago.
Right.
But ordinarily, I should be leaving officially tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, tomorrow because I'll be 60 on Sunday. So I was supposed to retire from government service.
All right. Just like the Holy Book says, all things work together. All right. Yeah. So let me start from you. You had part of what Aregbesola said. He said it was at a forum, House of Reps, and the particular institution spoke on the matter. Yakubu Dogara was there. Another university don was there. He was there as well. And by the way, if we check Aregbesola's trajectory, he has always been tilting towards the parliamentary system of government. But that many persons will say, how did that come by? Why is he saying it now? But you heard him. And he said, if you check his word very carefully, is that the tyranny of the people that are there right now. So many persons might want to say, what exactly does he mean? But then, is he about the messenger or the message? What do you think it is for you, for Aregbesola to be saying this at this time? Comrade.
I have learned to know that as far as Nigerian political space is concerned, the definition that is given to terms and policies don't work here. Whether it's executive, it's parliamentary, the dictatorial tendencies are in our leaders, so that, call it whatever name, they are dictators. They lead by way of brute force, by coercing, by enforcing too. And so, to a lot of people, because Ogbeni Aregbesola is no longer a chief executive of a state or any system, But the truth is, he was a governor for 8 years.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, you don't have a second opinion with him. That was it. Do you understand? So talking about tyranny is like convenient to say when you're out of that position. But when you are in power and in control of it, that's what power has done to our leaders in Africa. That toga of it is me, for me and my views, has always been there. And you cannot find the point he made are realistic points of fact.
Yes, because we'll look at the points. Because
he had held sway as an executive before. And if you ask some of us who were outside, of course, people who were there would say, oh, that was wonderful, guys. But the truth is, we felt it was too rigid in the use of power at that time. Because a lot of things happened that I'm sure in his cocoon now, he would have felt, maybe I would have done this differently. You understand? So a lot of people, Adegbeshola gave people half salary. When he was going, he collected whether rumors or lies or whatever. You understand? He collected on his own. Do you get so in that kind of it's a tyranny of the flesh, not just tyranny of attitude. It's the flesh. You believe I'm all in all. And so when that power is with you, that's how our leaders in Africa, not just Nigeria, that's how they use it.
So how about the message that I said it's practically impossible for somebody to think an individual will reign and administer justice to as many persons like us?
Wherever that is happening is not a democracy, and that is what is happening in most of Africa. And that is why people are looking for second views and opinions. That's why people are thinking maybe we need another alternative. And this thinking too of parliamentary is because the executive system of governance does not appear to be working for us. You don't think outside the box when you are just listening to yourself, like you're in the bathroom singing. My voice is beautiful.
Sound nice.
You know? So to my mind, yes, but basically my own personal view is that what they are doing by calling that gown and town must meet for Nigeria to grow.
All right.
So those in power who are ruling at the town end must know the most. Reach out to the academic community where they can distill information and look at what you are doing holistically.
Yeah, Doctor, you've heard what Adegbeshola said. Other things, we'll get to it in the course of the conversation. Let's look at the message, and for once, as Evelyn will say, maybe discard the messenger for now. But is it the system that's faulty? Or the people? And I had to ask this because even the presidential system that people are saying is too expensive, maybe rightly so, in the manner of the way we do ours, it's not just about an individual. There is separation of powers, judiciary, executive, legislature. That's supposed to be power at the center. That's the federal, the state, subnational, and the local government. The way these things has been done, where we copied it from, is working. So is it the system? And don't forget, former President Obasanjo at some point, like a few months ago, spoke about this and said, maybe this presidential thing is not for Africa. So is it the system or the people, just like Comrade said?
No, it is not the system. The system is perfect, it's good. The policies are good. In fact, Nigerians are,
you're talking about the presidential system?
In every form, whether presidential, whether parliamentary, whether policy formulation and the rest of them. Nigerians are good in formulating policies. We are brilliant constitutional lawyers. Our constitution is okay. Our presidential system may have little challenges. So it's not the system. And like you said, where we copy this system, they are working. The parliamentary system is working in UK. It's working in Israel, is working in Argentina and some other countries like that. The presidential system is working in America perfectly. They just conducted the election and then there were no hula baloos. The person who was defeated has congratulated the winner, and America is moving on. And their consideration,
Donald Trump was even at the White House yesterday.
And their consideration is America first. Even Donald Trump was saying, if the Democratic people are broke, he will call on Republicans to raise money for them. That is to advance the cause of democracy. In Nigeria, it is not system. It is the people. It is the implementers. It is the politicians. It is the civil servants that are bastardizing the system we are practicing. And so there is nothing wrong with the presidential system. If you look at the Constitution. The Constitution gives us, room to operate. There is separation of power. Where if you are talking of the presidential system, we have separation of power. We have 3 arms of government, and these 3 arms of government are supposed to be a check on each other. And then the legislature is supposed to carry out, checks and balances on both. And then the people are elected. But it is the people we elect that are bastardizing the Constitution. I tell you today, Nigeria is operating a bastardized constitution. A constitution that is, good, and people are running it contrary to what is in the rules. The corruption you are seeing here, the stealing you are seeing here, the bad governance you are seeing here, the insecurity you are seeing here is a function of the people who are implementing that constitution. If you bring an angel to Nigeria today to operate with these politicians, that angel, these politicians will make him fail. They make him fail because they have made up their mind to run roughshod against the people, and that is not fair. So it's not the system, the parliamentary system. Let me go down memory lane. Okay. Work in the first instance in the First Republic, and that First Republic there were peer review mechanism between the states and the federal government. And let me use the Western region as an example. Yeah. The Western region was moving fast. We were the first to have a television station. We were the first to have a standard stadium. Free and compulsory education was run perfectly by Obafemi Awolowo. And Obafemi Awolowo even paid with that parliamentary system, paid the first minimum wage in Nigeria, and was lending it to the federal government to tell you how buoyant West was, And so that is good. On the military provided because of some challenges they were having, and they came back and imposed this, what you now call a presidential system in Nigeria on us. And this presidential system, when you ask some Nigeria now, they will tell you, we practicing true federalism. There is nothing like true federalism. Federalism is federalism. You either practice it or you don't practice it. We are talking of a system that that takes autonomous units. That is between the federal government and the state. And these states are supposed to be autonomous units, supposed to be proceed, they have to be resolved. But when you come to the way we have our feeling is up down. Things are not. As I talk to you today now, governors go to Abuja every minute to go and collect rent. And when they collect they return their state and spend the money the way they like. And they are not resourceful, they are not productive. And I tell you, the governor of Delta State, they average collect about 24 billion naira, between 18 and 24 billion naira, particularly for this dispensation of Tinubu. What is he doing with money? And they collect money and spend it the way like. So it is not our system that is faulty. It is the attitude of the people implementing it. Is it the constitution that the president to be buying Cadillac? Is it the presidential system that make the president, not to embark on cost-benefit analysis? Is it the presidential system that is telling him not to reduce cost of governance and is increasing it and coming? The Constitution says have 37 ministers. You are having 48. The Constitution, go to the countries where we are even borrowing money. Go and look at the kind of vehicles and the rest they are using. You are buying Cadillac, you are buying Yacht, you are buying, an airline an aeroplane of about $100 million. Not only that, you are even buying 160 million naira Prado Jeep for each parliamentarian when we are shouting and complaining that this economy is going down, that is not good, that we are supposed to reduce cost of governance, we are increasing. Is it the system that is doing that? If you go to the American people, is that the way they spend their money? Are they not transparent? Are they not accountable? Here we are not accountable. Our system of producers and presidents are richer than the state. And because they are richer than the state, like Comrade said, they dictate what is happening. And then they dictate what we are to do. And a system like that, it is not the Constitution that says the president should be behaving like that. The Constitution gives room for proper governance. And the conclusion I want to draw from this is that until we have an attitudinal change of our politicians, our followers and leaders, no constitution can work for Nigeria. Right. Even if we change to the parliamentary system tomorrow, and these characters are still there, I'm sorry to use that language, these political characters who are stealing, who are embezzling money, who are very, very corrupt, who are, against the Nigerian people, who think of their own interests alone, Nigeria, that system will not work. So this system is not working because of the implementers And those are the implementers, the politicians, the civil servants, and the followers are encouraging them. You see a follower that after giving him 5 naira bread during the recruitment system in the electoral system, what you see is that he's voting against his conscience. And when you have voted against your conscience, and then you produce a president that is not productive, a president that will not listen to you, these are the consequences. Right. And these consequences will be here for as long as our attitudinal change, our ways and means remain the way it is.
All right, let me move on, comrade. Now, there's this question of why are these people speaking out now? We've had other former public office holders also speak up. Rotimi Amechi, Babafemi Ojudu. I just read Kayode Fayemi. Also, we just read and also watched the video of Shina Pella, former House of Rep member. In fact, the wife of the late Ondo State Governor, Betty Akeredolu, also is speaking out. A whole lot of people are speaking out. Do you consider this a conspiracy against the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or these people are just tired, truly tired, and they want a change for their country? Because a lot of people are asking them the question, when you were there, what did you do? You just left there some few months ago, and now you just suddenly found your voice.
And how is it that is when they leave power, they are now promulgating things that resonate with the people? Comrade.
Well, to a lot of them, the present administration in Nigeria is playing winner takes all kind of thing.
Oh, but what's different?
Is it the same? Is it not the same thing with the past administrations?
Don't forget that the past administration was an APC administration too.
Okay.
Kayode Fayemi was an APC governor.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of things. That's why I keep telling people that I'm waiting for memoirs of people that worked with Buhari, especially those from the southwestern part of Nigeria.
Have you not seen the one from Femi Adesina?
Adesina was just a friend. He wrote his book because he was not a key member of that government. He was appointed.
He spoke for the president.
He was an appointed person.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
So it was part of the.
He does not really have. What I'm talking about is Kayode Fayemi was a governor, a minister, and did not support the candidacy of the president of today because of the body language of their leader then. So at what point did that departure come? Like, look, okay, let's say maybe Aregbesola as a person had issues with Asiwaju then. What were the issues you would say Fayemi had with him? Lai Mohammed was a bedroom friend to Asiwaju. He was not too overt about that campaign. It was not present at Abeokuta, the Milo content. These people are not there. Raji Fashola, wonderful Lagos State governor for 2 terms, was not fully part of that campaign. But now, when this government has now come, to a lot of us outside, we are not party members with them, and all, felt eggheads, even that worked with Buhari from the southwest, should have been part and parcel of this government. All the policies and all that appears to be failing now, people would call the likes of Fashola, were you part of this? Do you get the drift? Because to me, every policy flip-flop has brought the nation down and castigating aspersions on the so-called stature.
Many persons will say, these persons that you are mentioning are not the only ones in Nigeria. We have other brilliant persons.
Let me now tell you.
They don't have to.
Let me now tell you why this is an issue now.
And why are they speaking up now? Is it because they are not part of the government?
I'll tell you.
Is it the politician in them that is talking right now?
It's not just the politician in them. There are certain things that happens that you can't really say much. But in this instance, there are failings almost everywhere. Look at this kind of thing. At that seminar you talked about, Anango Abdullahi was saying edict establishing Nigeria expired 10 years ago. So why have they not been talking about that since? Do you get it? Since 2014, this is 2024. So it's telling you tomorrow we can say we are off Nigeria. The Northern Elders Forum. Because look at.
I think we're talking about the amalgamation thing.
Yes.
1940.
But since 2014, that they were in control, firm and all, why have they not remembered? Do you get the drift? But then you now see pockets of people, even from the southwest, sitting with them. Because, one, to a lot of, I'm a Yoruba man, and I just felt 1,001, the Dr. Motosho of this world are here. when Awolowo was ruling in the Southwest, Western region, he was going onto campuses and all, calling people, give me ideas on what we can do. It does not affect their salary. We won't even pay them for papers they present. But you see, what people have seen now is that, wait a minute, why is it 80% of people that worked with you 20-something years back that are called people in your cabinet now? Are there no new ideas? You don't use analog sense mindsets in a digital age. And so when things are happening the way it is now, I've not seen anybody defend these issues intelligently enough for a buy-in from me. How can you say Forex flotation and the next thing, the whole thing has gone down on us? I tell you, if you say zero taxation so that food can come in.
Yeah, on food importation.
If you're sincere about it, open the bottom that's of Cotonou and see if rice will not become 30,000. So is it for your own sakes alone you promulgate rules? So let people sit together. Cotonou, I do business there in the past, and I know Nigeria's currency, even as weak as Naira was over 4 or 5 times better than their own local currency, and they don't mind because they don't have the population to consume what comes through their ports. They need Nigeria. And so they reduced everything that makes it easy. If you want to clear a car that you bought for like 1 million, you need about 5-6 million to clear it in Lagos. Do you get the drift? And you use like 200,000-300,000 to clear from Cotonou. And leaders cannot just deceive us that they don't know what is happening. Yes, we knew it was deliberate against a part of Nigeria. When the Buhari administration made the retired Buratai ambassador to that coastal place and closed that border. If Asiwaju wants to help Nigerians sincerely, they should open Cotonou border so that we can get real competition for whatever they say they bring to Lagos port. Correct. All these policies add together to say, look, it's either you are transacting by way of transactional leadership, that all the booties coming from every policy you make, people within the government are the beneficiaries of it. Look at Dangote that slipped and said, look, wait a minute, when we are about to start now, just as we are about to start, some of them are doing Malta. That was when we decided to start giving him oil. So all of these things add together that there is a high level of criminality that has brought Nigeria under that must be addressed.
And I think the question evening asks is, fine submission there, is why are these people talking now? Many of them, Sunday Dario was on TV recently and he was castigating a part of Buhari's policy. How many persons were saying, hello, Mr. Dari, you are part of the administration. If Festus Keyamo was part of Buhari's administration and in the capacity of Minister of State, only for him to live there, and he was saying the Minister of State thing is illegal. Why is it that is whenever they leave, they realize...
Comic relief.
Yeah, we must come to doctor. Okay. I'll come back to you.
It's simple. We are dealing with a people that... We are dealing with a government that is, one, unproductive. A government that is not thinking. A government that is full of incompetent people who are running it. A government that does not even plan before taking action. And when you don't plan before you take action, you have all these type of consequences. A government that just came to power and say subsidy is gone without thinking of it, without calling people to discuss it. A government that decided with the arrogancy of one man to float the naira, and the consequences are here, and they are not running from pillar to post. So what you see the people who are talking are doing is defending this particular government, whom they have seen the president as a lord. And that is not what presidential system of government is saying. And the National Assembly has become a rubber stamp that anything the president says is what they are going to do. And so they want to celebrate this president. You will realize that in the previous government, the same thing they were doing, because Eli Mohammed and the Keyamo think a Buhari can easily sack them. He can even probe them. And so they kowtow to him, they celebrate him, they worship him, they listen to whatever he wants to say, and that is what they do. And now they are in this government, defending this government hook, line, and sinker, even when the policies are not good. Will Keyamo support this kind of government when he was outside government? Will Keyamo not advocate what Comrade just said now and say, look, open the borders and let there be competition and prices will collapse? He will say that, but he will not say that now. because he has to celebrate and worship this president that this system has produced upside down. Improvement is so 40% that lose a president that is almost richer than Nigeria and a president that dictates everything. You remember the Senate president and the Abbas told us that whatever the president sent to them is what they are going to approve. And that is that the National Assembly?
I think that was Lawan.
Yes, that's Lawan.
Lawan under Buhari.
Yes, and then, you know, they said that under Buhari, and this Senator Akpabio has said that under this particular government. So you are talking of a presidential system of government that upholds the separation, the principle of separation of power.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Are you seeing it? Are you not seeing a presidential system of government where the executive have settled the judiciary by approving 300% allowance, while you are approving not up to 20% minimum?
It doesn't have to be settlement. People should live well.
Management for civil servants. And so you settle this judiciary and an arm of the government.
You call it settlement, doctor?
That's the settlement, because why should you approve the 300% when others are taking less than 100%? And that is one. Two, an arm of government, a minister of this government who behaves like a governor, is providing us the house for this judiciary from the High Court to the Supreme Court. That is such a settlement. So you don't expect just from the judiciary, the executive want to settle everybody, and the National Assembly has become a rubber stamp. And so they are defending, you know, what they feel can actually satisfy their interest. The ultimate situation we find ourselves is that the president has not behaved charismatic, has not shown good leadership. A president that in all these economic problems we have seen, behaving as if nothing is happening. It's not being what really the suffering hardship becomes so terrible to send that, you know, that people cannot feed. People are dying daily. And the president wife even observing that that's what the solution to this is that Muslims and Christians should get prayer. That's what we are supposed to do. A government that is like this. In fact, what the prayer we should do now is that the Muslims and Christians should gather and pray for the first family, that's Tinubu's family and his wife, that God should touch their heart and remove greed from their mind. They are so greedy to the extent that until that greediness is removed, this country cannot move anywhere. Otherwise, how do you see a situation where you are paying 70 or you approve 70 naira minimum wage, you have not paid it, and then the naira is collapsing every minute, the national grid is collapsing every minute, another insecurity has come in the name of Lukarawa, and then you have no solution to it. Boko Haram is still somewhere, kidnapping is everywhere. We are not talking about all that. All you do daily is your personal interest, truncate to countries, and then buy the most expensive of vehicles for yourself and for your letters. So the way they are seeing things, they are detached from the people. If they are not detached from the people, they'll be talking to us. That's why some people are talking of parliamentary. Let me tell you this before I wind up, is that there is a complete loss of confidence on this presidential system because of the people operating it. I tell you, it is the same system that has produced an election in America now. Our own election, you remember, we said it here. We spent 37 billion naira for an electoral process that produced glitches. And today, some electoral results are still in the court. And so, a system that is being run like this, that is not productive, that's what Aregbesola is saying. Aregbesola himself was a dictator when he was in government. If not because they didn't allow internal democracy in their party, why should there be disagreement between him and Tinubu? The disagreement was because Aregbesola wanted somebody to be governor, Tinubu wanted another person to be governor. Who is supposed to produce the governor? Is it not the internal democracy of the party that will meet, vote, and produce a candidate for the people? But they want to impose that person or not. And that is the basis of imposition is the consequences we are reaping now, and we will reap it even when we change our system times 10.
All right, so I know Comrade has been, itching to say something, but then in addition to whatever it is you want to say, I want to ask you this question. The presidential system of government, has it failed? Do we need to move to parliamentary system of government for things to work out well? I mean, people say we copied the presidential system of government. Did we copy wrongly? Do you think, the system, the rot in the system is too deep for